Okay, Jason Moore, Jam on the Fly. Looking at my little crab, my little mini crab, saltwater pattern. Really good for reds. Excellent pattern. Let me zoom in on this so you can see how we make it. And get a good look at this guy. We get some light on the situation, zoom you in here. Okay. There you can see that guy. Beautiful crab pattern. Catches a lot of redfish, a lot of snook, a lot of different ladyfish, you name it. Even the speckled trout. Catch a lot of saltwater patterns on this fly. Imitation of a baby crab, and it's very effective. Let me show you how we tie that. SS15 hook, Gamakatsu SS15, size 6. Mono, Danville, fine mono. Can actually start this towards the butt, and there's a reason for that. I don't really want the shank covered at this point. You'll see why in a little bit. Gonna take a little bit of marabou. Take a marabou plume and just comb that back, so you're just using the edge, the end of it. Just like that. We just want to tie that in. That looks about right, maybe a little bit shorter, something like that. We're going to tie that down to the shank, come front, tie that in just like that, so we get a little bit of marabou. We're going to take our bondic and we're going to put a little bead right here in the front, like that. Just want a nice little round bead. Get that on there like that, and you hit that real quick so it ends up having a little ball on it. You see that? You end up having a little ball on the front there. Next step, gonna take a little bit of this flank. This is just a turkey flank. This turkey flank happens to have black tips, kind of good little representation of eyes. I'm going to take a little piece of that. Take a little piece about that broad. We'll divide that into about 2. Going to put a little piece on here like this. Wrap that in like that. Take another little piece and put it off to the other side. Just like that. Just kind of representing a little bit of the eyes. And maybe some antenna. We'll wrap the rest of the fibers down. They're not too important. Just something like that. We look a little prickly in the front. Again, we got that little ball, so we have a little separation so we could divide our claws. For the claws, just using some junk hackle. This happens to be a yellow color. I'm going to come in with that. I'm going to lay that in place for the claws. Lay that on the back side like that. Pinch our claws together as we wrap forward. Don't worry about the fibers that you tie down. Not a big deal. People get too crazy about this stuff. Here's another set. Put them on this side. Again, pinch them to the side. Tie them in, come right up to the ball, and you can see that kind of spreads them out, so it kind of looks like claws. And we just need to hint, like I said, we're not getting crazy about nothing. We just want an idea of claws. There. Yeah, we could take another little snip of marabou, add that in if we want. This happens to be like a little reddish color, just to add a little bit of something different in there. We could just lay that on and tie that guy in. That looks pretty good. And like I said, we're not getting crazy. We're just adding a little bit in. Tie that right in behind. So there you go. You got your claws. You got your claws. You got your skirt. Kind of see what that's looking like. Now we come to the main component, which is a body. EP fiber. This happens to be a greenish, a little bit of a mixed blend. We're going to take little chunks, pull off a little strip. We're going to take some little snips like this, and we're going to tie them in. And we're going to tie that right in to the front of this. Oop. Come back around and get that. There we go. Now you can pull them, set them in place. I can pull them to this side, center them up, do whatever I want to do. Put a wrap behind it, forget about them. Grab another little piece. Again, we're just taking a little snip. And whatever, they're about a little over 1 inch pieces, maybe 1.5 inches. Again, over, behind, figure eight it. Let's lift that and set it right into place, just like that, where we want it, and we'll tie right behind that. So basically, you're getting your strands tied across like that. Another piece, just working your way back. You're doing the same thing. Tie it across, come under, go over top and around 2 times, come underneath 1 time, and then take that piece and slide it right up against the next piece, tighten it in. And you'll see that it doesn't have to be that tight. In fact, the looser you tie it, the better, because this will be bondixed in when it's all said and done. Again, take another piece, I'm going to wrap it in like this. Same situation. 1, 2, 1 around the bottom. Lift the piece, put it back into place, and again you're ready to go with the next one. Keep working your way to the back of the hook, doing the same thing. It's a very, very effective fly. Catches a lot of redfish. They're looking for these small crabs. The snook, we catch a lot of snook on these flies as well. It's amazing what's feeding on these little crabs. You see them swimming in the water every so often. I mean, you just don't realize how much of a food source they really are. But they are an incredible food source. Again, take another piece. Whatever it takes to kind of fill the shank of the hook. Like that. And just lay that back a little bit, and you get a little bit of shank there that you can just tie a nice little finish head right in the back, like that. And we can come through and we'll finish that out. Again, not getting too technical. There's my mini crab. It's, like I said, this is a deadly, deadly weapon. And now we want to turn this and kind of comb out these fibers. Not comb them out, but basically just stretch them out so we have that kind of a look like that. You can see what we look like both ways there. So we could get to our trimming portion. Come pull this down. I'm going to start about a 1/2 inch down, and I'm just going to kind of cut a curve into that side. And I'm just going to take it the other way. Again, pulling everything down. Gently pulling everything down. You don't need to tug on this yet because you don't have everything exactly set. Starting about a 1/2 inch down, just a nice gradual curve. And you can see what you end up with, a nice looking crab type of body in there. Any extra fibers, cut them out, get rid of them. And you can see we got a beautiful looking crab. And how do we finish this guy off? Well, we're just going to take a Bondix. We're going to keep everything as flat as we can. I like to put a little bit here in the back side. Make sure it's down into the base. Hit that with the light. That kind of sets that. Flip it up. again, you could spread them legs. You come right in here, right down the hook shank, and we're just going to hit this the whole way down. I'll turn this a little bit so the camera can see. You're going to hit that shank with the Bondix the whole way up through, and then get the bead of the hook there, and we're just going to hit that with the Bondix, hit it with the light, and we can have that spread out as much as we want. And if you could see that, just curing that glue just like that. Now we come back in with our scissors, we could get rid of the extra hard fibers right off the top. Everything's hard now, see that? And that is our JM Mini Crab. And you can see it's just a beautiful, quick little tie. It didn't take us long at all to tie that. And I tie that, and here you go. Here's a box. All different colors. You got little light colored crabs, the dark greens, and of course the dark color there that we ended up with. I like the yellow for the claws, but you know, everybody has their own opinion. Whatever color you want, whatever color you have. I think anything will work. When these redfish are eaten, it really doesn't matter. So that's it. JM Mini Crab. JM on the fly, and I am out of here.